Okay, super fast demo of AIPACK. So you do a cargo install AIPACK. That will install AIPACK. Then you do AIP init, and then you do AIP install JC coder, which is my production coder AIPACK. Now you just do AIP run JC add coder, and then boom, you have a JC coder which is fully driven by a file base. So now what we're going to do here, it's a parametric agent. So that allows us to parameterize our agent, which is our JC coder agent. And it created a prompt for us. So now we're going to create some files into the web content. We're going to do the famous Pong game. And then that is our model aliases. And we're going to decide to use Claude for this one, because this one is the best to date. What is above is the instruction. What is below is the answer of the AI. Right now is the documentation. But now what we can do is to say code a Pong game in a single index.html file, such as the left bar is the player bar controlled by the mice, and then make sure it resizes with the window with a 16 pixel margin. And then, because we know what we're doing, we're going to say use canvas 2D. So that is not vibe coding. It's the opposite of vibe coding, is production coding with AI. And this is a very simple demo, obviously. And we're going to show how we're going to refactor. So we want to guide it to code our way, but we want it to code. So now we can play replay or Command R, which is wired, and boom, we have our files. The duration was 31 seconds, 4 cents, and we got our index.html. Note that here, rather to have to work like Claude command line inside the terminal, you work into a file, so you get the full benefit of whatever ID you are using. And the parameters are 2ml, so again, they get highlighted and very nicely and so on. So that is pretty cool, and we get all the information over there. Now that we have that, we can go there and we're going to do the preview of this extension. And now we have this game, which works pretty nicely and looks pretty good. So now, obviously, this is a very common demo. We're going to commit this, initial Pong game. And now we are going to go to our prompt and we're going to do some refactoring. So that is the difference between vibe coding and production coding, because the point of production coding is to manage complexity, such as we can scale the code more efficiently. So what we're going to do is we're going to say extract the JS into gs.main.js and CSS into css.main.css. Press run. Boom, we got it. So we got our main.css over there, our JS over there. We're going to make sure that everything runs. So we reload it and everything works pretty nicely. We can see it took 26 seconds, 4 cents. So far, so good. And so we're going to commit that and refactor to JS and CSS file. Let's commit. Now, the next step here is we want a couple of things. First here, we're going to see that that is not using type module. We know what type module is, and we would like to use type module. So we're going to say that. And then the second part is that everything inside the main here, which is kind of so-so. So we want also to partition that. So we're going to do a couple of things, some refactoring to do. So remember, we're not in a chat mode where we replay all the time everything and everything gets confused. You have full control of your prompt. So the prompt is all the files that we've given over there, and we can even narrow it, and the things above the equal. So here we're going to say, make the main.js script tag type module, split main.js into main.js for the entry point, app.js for the game app logic. And then we're going to want also CV utils for the canvas, primitives, utilities, and common elements for now. And then that will be already pretty good. We press run and boom, 31 seconds, about 5 cents. We got our files. We're going to make sure that everything works nicely. Everything seems to work nicely. And so that is pretty good. And now we can do our final one. So we're going to first commit that. more JS refactoring. And now the cool thing is we want to add things into our JavaScript, but we don't need to include our main and index.html anymore. So what we're going to do in our parametric agent is we're going to come here and we're going to take the context globes, which is relative to our base tier, and we're going to remove the HTML and the CSS. So by default, when it's commented, it includes most of the languages. Then we have full control of what we want to use. So here we're just going to do JavaScript. So that will be only these two guys. And obviously we can narrow more. So now that we have that, we can go there, make the ball particle explode when it goes to a side, and add this into a CV particle. So our best practices would be to say that when it's Canva things, we put under CV dash. We can change the best practices later. And now we're going to press R. Boom, done. 36 seconds, 6 cents. We have our app here, which should do the import now because it's that module. We have our particle things here. So if we checked it, it looks pretty good. So that looks completely fine. And we're going to check if it works. Boom, works very nicely. And then that's it. And with that, until next one, happy coding.